Oh, Isabella, thank you. You're online already. Sorry, I was trying to tag you guys. Who else is online? If you're online, let me know. Oh, yeah, darling, thank you. You're welcome to this night's edition. Okay, it's already 4 minutes past our time, so we can kick off. Oluwakemi, thank you for joining. Good evening. And hello to you too. So, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. I welcome you all to another session of marriage campus, of our teaching in marriage campus, rather. Thank you. So I trust that God will grant us speed again today. I'm sure we all know the topic of today's session. If you know, let me see you type it in the comment section. Taiwo, you are welcome. Thank you, darling, for showing up again today. If you remember today's topic, please type it in the comment section. Let me know. Hello, darling. Hello, Osi. Thank you for greeting. I'm waiting for one person to just type today's topic so that I know we are all on the same page. Okay, without wasting time, I'm sure we know we have seen it in our respective head. Okay, thank you, Osi. You just start the topic for today, dealing with emotional insecurity. Taiwo, thank you. I trust you. I know you will know. So exactly, that is what we are considering today. And I trust that God will help us, and it shall also be an impactful section in Jesus' name. Or session, rather. Session. Okay. I will start with a short story today. Summer 2014, if I'm not mistaken, yes, summer 2014, I was in Canada. And so my host, they said we should go to CN Tower, yeah. And I don't know the place, I didn't know the place, I didn't know what it looked like. Okay, let's go. Thought it was just an outing. So when we got there, saw people queuing. I was like, what's happening here? And then we entered. It was inside an elevator, and the thing was going high with the speed of, I can't explain it, but I learned it. The speed is about 22 kilometers per hour, and it's actually a transparent glass elevator. So as you are ascending, you're actually seeing, and you know, at a point, it's like my feet could no longer carry me. So as well, I should just sit down inside the elevator. Anyway, we got to where they called the glass floor. And then after all the demonstration of fear, panicking, you try to summon courage to sit down there, or yes, to walk around and sit down, particularly on the glass section. We left there, move around to the restaurant. I thought that was it, and then the next thing was for us to start going back. And lo and behold, as we move, I just found out that we're also in another queue. I'm like, do we need to queue to go back again? They said no, that we have not gotten to the top of the tower. We are still going. There's another one at the top. That's another, maybe like another something like equivalent of 30-story building. For some of us listening that have not been to CN Tower, the CN Tower was like, or is like equivalent of 147-story building, you know. So they said the additional one we need to go is almost like another 30,000. So I told my son, no, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not going. I am not going. So they started, especially my son, started, persuading me. Mommy, forget you paid your money, you paid your dollar, they've collected your dollar. I said, Tolu, it's my dollar. Let them have it. I don't care. I am not going. I summon courage to be here. If I know this is how it will be, I won't even follow you. So just leave me. I'm not going. Mommy, every one of us came. Only you will not go. I said, does not matter. Do you want me to wait on this floor? They said no, that when we get upstairs, when we get to the peak, that it will not stop us here. Right from the peak, it will take us down. Okay, can't I go down from here? At least let me go downstairs and go and be waiting for you people. They started pestering me, especially my son said, Mommy, everybody have fear. It's what you do with your fear that makes it different. And that what hits me. And I calmed down. I summoned courage. And I said, okay, let's go. So we entered the lift again. And thank God I actually summoned courage and went, because unlike what I feared most, which is the transparent elevator, because normally I have phobia for heights. So, but at that point, to the peak of it, it was no longer transparent elevator. I said, okay, thank God I summoned courage, and then when we step out, it was as though we were stepping out into the cloud and everything. All my mind was just like, let's just do and get out of this place and go down. Anyway, you will soon know why I start with that, or I'm starting with that story, that short story, So let me go ahead now and explain what emotional insecurity is. I'm sure all of us have. Yes, thank you for capturing it. Everyone has fear. So emotional insecurity, we know emotion is something that speaks about our feelings, feeling of sorrow, happiness, fear, love, hate. And when we hear something insecure, I posted a question asking us to say the opposite of insecure, and every one of us that made attempt actually got it, So insecure is opposite of secure. That's one of us said that secure is opposite. I think that was even Kenny, that secure is opposite of insecure. So when you don't feel secure, when there is fear, worry, anxiety, and doubt, that's insecure. So emotional insecure, or to be emotionally insecure, or to have emotional insecurity, has to do with the fact that when it comes to emotional matter, you are afraid, you have some fear, you have some doubt, you have some worry, and all the rest. So when you have emotional insecurity, you are susceptible to fear, to worry, to anxiety, because you feel unsafe. That's try to explain emotional insecurity. So just like it was said to me that day that everybody have fear, it's only what you do with your fear that makes the difference. And my second son will always say in pidgin, everybody get the one way they do them. So everybody have one thing or the other that they are afraid of. So insecurity is something that is common to man. It's one of the emotions that men, when I mean men, not men as a male, generally human being, they experience and they battle with, So how do you handle your own insecurity is what makes the whole lots of difference. There's also a Bible, there's a story in the Bible that anytime I read it, it amuses me. I can't even explain something. I will laugh, but at the same time, I don't know whether I should be laughing, because it's something that communicates deeper things to me. It's the story of Elijah. We know how Elijah, challenged the prophet of Baal and called down fire. And that same day, 450 of Baal prophets, Elijah destroyed. He killed all of them. And then Jezebel heard and now sent message to Elijah. And sent message and told Elijah that by this time tomorrow, I will do to you what you have done to these people. I'd expect someone that just called fire down, to send the same fire to go and strike Jezebel wherever she is, and then even the messenger that brought the message. But what did Elijah did? Elijah ran. Elijah ran far, far, far away, that in short, to Mount Oreb, that said that the journey took him 40 days and 40 nights. That was how far Elijah ran just because a woman had issued a threat that she was going to kill him. No wonder the scripture later told us in the New Testament that Elijah was a man of like passion. So I say this to let us know that truly insecurity is what every human being at one point or the other, one thing or the other will likely make you to feel insecure. So what are the examples of insecurity so that we can drive this home very well? The one that men battle might be different from the one women battle. And it's likely possible that we women, our own will be longer or much more, but it does not matter. Everybody, man and woman, male and female, we have issue with insecurity. For us women, we bother about our look. Some will say, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not fine enough. And when you be looking at that person complain, you'll be what's your problem? I watched one program, and that's Pastor Kingsley. I'm sure a lot of us know she's also a marriage minister, marriage counseling minister. And there's a lady in the program I watched. There's this lady that I think she was the one that got up and she shared how she's been battling with insecurity and everything. Good evening, Sister Kate. Thank you for joining us. So she was saying that she doesn't believe. Let me say didn't, because they tried to help her break, and I want to believe God that had been broken from her mindset. So she didn't believe she was beautiful. And when I look at this girl, nothing, everything just moderately. Call it hips, call it bust. She just a good figure, but yet, even when they gave her the mic and asked her to say, I am beautiful, it was a struggle for her to let it out of her mouth. That is to the extreme. But on a general note, some battle with that problem of I am not beautiful enough, and so because of that, they have a sense of insecurity. Their body size, I am not fat. I mean, I'm too fat or I'm too thin. There was all of a sudden, maybe some couple years ago, you begin to see lepa trending. Everybody wants to have, a straight figure. Everybody wants to have sizable figure, which many years ago nobody cared. In short, where the more fat, the more flesh you are, the more it shows that you are very comfortable. But it's not like that. So you see fat one wanting to, some even go as far as going to do surgery because they want to cut off some flesh and fat. It's a sense of insecurity. Aging is also another thing that women battle with. At a particular age, they begin to get worried. Oh, I'm having wrinkles, I'm having gray hair. I do wonder, you can't eat your cake and have it. If you want to grow old, wrinkle will appear, gray hair will appear. Why should that one be an issue for anyone? But you will see the mystery of life. At that point, the women will start to use dye to turn their hair black. Meanwhile, you will see younger generation go and be spraying their hair either in golden or in white color, just to show that every one of us, we have one thing or the other that we want to battle when it comes to insecurity. Fashion, the trendy fashion is a sort of concern to some. I don't have trending clothes. My clothes don't even fit me. What am I going to wear? If you have function, trust us women, there is hardly any function we believe that we have clothes that will go for it. We want to buy, except maybe you can't afford it and you are so disciplined you can't do beyond your ability, then you just take it like that. But when it comes to functions, the first thing is, what am I going to wear? And you feel like I don't have what it takes to to match with this party. Those are the things that give us worry and concern. Intelligence, I'm not smart enough. We do compare a lot, compare ourselves to other people. We'll come to that. For men, money is most of the time cause issue and give them insecurity. I don't even know. They will say it's women that love money, but I come to know that 3 things I learned that are major problem in the life of men. It's what they call it, money, power, and women. Thank God for those ones that are in Christ Jesus. So money always make man feel insecure. They want to have money. They even believe once they have money, their women will believe them. They want to have money so that they can spoil their madam. They believe that if they have money, women will just be rushing them, you know. So they feel insecure when they think they don't have enough money. Social status, I get to belong. They want to belong to some circle, the circle of where it's happening. The big shot, the big guy, you know, those people that now they run the town, you know, they want to be part of it. Their body weight also give them concern. That's why you see men, they go and be carrying weight because they want to form parts and all the rest. Not only women have issue with body, even men, they also want to have, you know, a good look, and to women, so that they can be attractive. Experience with women also give them concern, like, will I be able to handle a woman? Will a woman accept me the way I am, and on like that? They are also worried about their looks. If they are too short, if they are too thin, if they are too high, you know, if they are too short, rather, if they are too tall, and whether they are fat, whether they are thin, they also get concerned. Their sexuality give them worry also. Will I be able to satisfy a woman? All those things are part of the thing that men marry. The only thing is that sometimes women will talk about our own more than men, and it feels as though it's only women that are having issue with emotional insecurity, but it's actually not so. So how do we come into all this insecurity? I don't know if I should call it sources or causes of insecurity, but what really happened? How do we get there? What originates them? Background is part of it. Your social status. Are you raised from poor family? Are you raised from family that are struggling? Or are you raised from a very rich family? You know that when a child that comes from a wealthy family is outside, there's this air of confidence that will come with them compared to the one that just come from the village and just manage. You know, you will just be feeling one kind among those people. He feels that they are better off than him or her. So our background tends to also give us insecurity. Our upbringing, lack of emotional support. You know, if you are not brought up in a loving environment, you know, it tends to give a sense of insecurity. For example, a child that's, you know, raised where they cuddle, they embrace her, they kiss her, every now and then she hears, I love you, mommy love you, daddy love you. It's different from the one that the word is strange. Maybe when you enter a relationship, that will be the first time you will hear the word I love you from someone to him. Those kind of things causes insecurity. Life experiences also, how you have been treated in the past, things that you have gone through in life, they can affect you and make you so insecure, make you so tense, make you not free. You know, lack of emotional intelligence also. You remember we have handled in this group when we treated the essential skill for successful relationship and marriage. One of the segments or one of the sessions, we treated emotional intelligence. If you don't have emotional intelligence, you know, you don't know how to handle some things. It will also affect you in relationship to people. If you have not discovered yourself, to know your strength and your weaknesses, anywhere you find yourself, you'll be like, I'm not good enough. You know, you then, if also over consciousness, maybe you even know, you know, or maybe you don't even know, but the only one you know is that you know the area you are not good at, or you know you focus on the weaknesses side. It's not too good also. It will cause insecurity. The person lacks skill of interpersonal relationship. It's also part of or under being emotional intelligent. Social media is also another source of, you know, insecurity. If you see what is going online and begin to imagine, I am not like this, compare yourself to them, or use those things you see as a standard, it's going to be serious, you know, problem. One of my group I belong to, this my marriage counseling groups, there is one of us that posted a question and nobody answered. What was the question? That is it true that small manhood will prevent a man to be able to satisfy a woman? Everybody read it and kept quiet. Then the lady came back again. Thank you, Kafaya, you are welcome. So everybody kept quiet. Then the lady came back and said, please, I need an answer. You should help me answer this, because in the group, I think she has another group where that question was posted. Said in my group, somebody used this one as a defense or as an excuse for premarital sex. So please, I need an answer. I want to know what to say to the person. Then I now commented. I said, so if small manhood will be a challenge, in satisfying a woman, how many manhood will she test before she invariably gets married? Imagine a guy in that group. Immediately he reads that or read that. Maybe his first reaction is to go and touch his trouser to see what is the size of manhood. That's just an example of what we see on social media, and before you know it, they are like seed in our heart and begin to think about it vis-a-vis how we feel with that which we have heard, and it make us sometimes feel inadequate, feel we have shortcoming in this area, and like that. Then personality type also. I talked about the traces or the manifestation of not having emotional security. It's fear, doubt, worry. Personality type can also be a source for people like melancholy that fall under melancholy flag. One of their weaknesses is that they are very fearful. So they worry a lot, and they find the problem with trust. They have issue with trust. They find it difficult to trust people. So personality type can also be a source of insecurity. So what are the signs of manifestation, or how does this thing play out if one is having issue in this area? The person will be timid because he lacks courage, he lacks self-assurance. He will be so timid that to even express his or herself, will be very difficult for that person. He will be shy. Shyness can be as a result of, that does not mean everyone that is shy, have issue with insecurity. No, but if shyness is one of the characteristics or manifestation of having emotional insecurity. So the shyness will make the person so reserved. He will be a loner. He will be so introverted that he can hardly, he doesn't want to mix with anybody. He rather desire to be alone. Once he hears social gathering, social interaction, he or she try as much as possible to avoid it because of his or her shyness. Then irritable, the person quarrelsome, so unfriendly, so impatient. Why? Because he just believes that everybody hates him or her. No one is her friend. Everybody condemn her. So before you touch the person, you will so get angry easily over nothing. I'm sure you must have seen one or two persons around you that falls into that category, that you'll be wondering, what is this person's problem? Any little thing. She'll be so oversensitive of words. Anything you say, she must speak quarrel. Anything you say, she must have issue with that thing. When you see that kind of sign, it shows that that person have issue with emotional insecurity. Then over dependent, because the person cannot stand on his or herself. He or she does not believe on his or herself. So every now and then he's looking for people to help him to do something. They trust him to do this one. They don't have confidence on what to do on themselves. They will rather looking for validation from other people. And it's on and on like that, that even other area of their life apart from emotional stuff will also be affected. They have trust issue, like I've said. They don't, because they don't feel secure. So everything they suggest to, imagine somebody that have issue with doubt and fear. How can such a person trust? If they don't even trust, they won't even trust themselves, talk less of third party. They lack confidence in their own ability. They don't believe they can do. Every now and then what they see is inadequacy. You remember the story of the Israelites when they sent some of them to go and spy the promised land, and the majority of them, with the exception of Joshua and Caleb, came back with negative story. They affirmed that truly that land was a good land, but in our own eyes we are like grasshopper. In their own eyes, they did not enter the people's eye to know how those people see them. Maybe those people are actually seeing giants, but in their own eye they are like grasshopper. And so that's how they felt, and it turned out to be that they died like grasshopper because they were never able to get to the promised land. So as a result of this, they have low self-esteem and self-worth. They don't even, it's like I amount to nothing. There's nothing good that can come out of this Israel. Is Israel, the Bible puts it, Jerusalem. There's nothing that can, anything good cannot come out of my life. I don't amount to anything because of that feeling of insecurity. They are, as a result of that, poor decision maker. They lack decision making skill. You know, I've even said it before that they're over dependent. So it's everybody that will be deciding for them. Can I do this? Can I do this? Because they lack confidence in themselves, and they lack ability to quickly choose. If someone you go to, I don't know if I've ever seen someone that wants to go to that goes to market. I am a trader. I do see them in my shop. Make up your mind what you want to buy. They will send a picture, maybe to their spouse, to their friend. Yeah, cause another customer that is standing. Please, can you help me judge which one should I pick? Those kinds are part of the people that have issue with making up their mind because they don't have confidence in themselves and they lack ability to decide. What are the effects of emotional insecurity in relationship? Because everything we say and we do here narrow down to relationship and marriage. How does all these things we have been saying affect relationship? Whether you are dating, whether you're already in marriage, how does it play out? You likely, anyone that have issue with insecurity is likely to settle for the wrong person. They are likely to find themselves in wrong relationship. Why? We have said it. Number one, because they have issue to decide. Number two, because they don't see their own worth. They don't know their own worth. So anybody that quickly come to them, they accept. It's like, at least, let me, someone is coming to me. Let me just accept this one. They fall into wrong relationship. And even when they find themselves in wrong relationship, to get that is also another issue. They continue to be in toxic relation. One of the things that is, encouraging toxic relationship, or what do we call it now? People to remain in abusive relationship. It has to do with emotional insecurity, because the other party would have been singing and ringing into their ear and to their head, you are good for nothing. If I leave you, if I dump you, nobody will marry you. I am managing you to be like you. You are not my mate. You are not my worth. And that's one being programmed into their head, and they just stay put in the relationship. So if there's one thing that is encouraging abusive relationship, emotional insecurity is part of them. So that is one of the areas that it affects them in relationship. It also can cause delay in marriage. Why? Look at all the things we have listed. A guy or a lady move close, maybe in friendship. Maybe they are just casual friends. Maybe they relate in church or at workplace or any other place where people get close to one another. And they just see all this as what do we call red signal. We also have said it here that do not ignore red signal, red flags. So those people, once they see this one and pick it at red flag, they pick risk. Because nobody wants to carry someone that will not give you rest of mind, someone that does not trust you, anyone that is irritable and is quarrelsome. The spouse cannot enjoy relationship with that person, whether it's a man or a woman. Remember, the scripture says that it's better to go and be living inside the roof than to be in the house with a contentious woman. The same thing goes for a contentious man. So once you have those characteristic traits and someone come close to you and just smell them, he pick race. And you won't know what is the problem with you, that they have seen some signal that is pursuing them. So it might cause marital delay. It also cause breaking of relationship. Maybe it's even after someone started dating you, going for dates, even courtship, before you begin to see this. Well, they always say it's in marriage counseling that a broken engagement is better than a broken marriage or a bad marriage. So someone is already in relationship, even courtship and everything, and begin to see those things as red flags. And the person said, do you know what? Because we've seen such that said, no, I can't do this. Even when mother, father, brethren say, no, this thing is okay, it's fixable. We say, no, I can't fix it. I can't deal. And the person picked risk. So it might cause breaking of relationship because of all the red flag that will be. So as a result of trust issue, being envious and jealous will give problem in relationship. Person that does not trust, every now and then you'll be suspecting your spouse or your partner. He goes out, he doesn't come back again. You begin to wonder, where are you? Have you not come back? Person say traffic. He say, which traffic? I just checked Google. Google said the road is free. You know, you see your partner with another lady talking, or your body will be, shaking and everything. And the person said that, no, I can't continue like this. Even if it is a marriage, there are some marriage can break as a result of it. Even if they don't break, that marriage cannot know peace. So it's a serious issue that we are talking about here. Will nobody say you cannot be jealous? Let me just quickly add that one. Anyone you love, you feel jealous when you see someone coming too close. You feel uncomfortable with them. But remember, what we are talking about is dealing with insecurity, and we had said it a couple of times, or I have said it a couple of times, that everybody experiences it. It's what you do, how you handle it, that makes a difference. So if you feel, if you have a sense of jealous or anything, discuss with your partner. Handle it with emotional intelligence. Know the time to talk about it. Have the right presentation. So it's not that you say if you see something dangerous, you should not talk about it. No, but what is your manner of presentation? How are you going to handle it? If such situation happens. So the last segment, which is actually the main thrust of our discussion today, is where we are going to now, which is dealing with emotional insecurity. Fine, as we are speaking, or as you hear me, oh, it's true, some of these traces, I have it, or I have a friend that have it, or I have it, someone close to me that have it. How do I counsel? How do I advise the person? Number one, identify and acknowledge your insecurity. Why do you need to acknowledge it? Why do you want to accept it? Because it's common to man. Like that day, when we went to CNTR, me, I was feeling, at the time of feeling embarrassed that it's even my son encouraging me to not be afraid to let us go. But by the time we got to where we were going, I said it was as though we just stepped into the cloud, as though we were just going to the air like that. And I was still managing. Thank God for Jesus. I'll be encouraging myself in the Lord. Still trying to take my step. No, though not as confident as if I'm walking on the bare floor. But at least I was moving. I saw one white lady. She practically rested her back on the wall of the glass. And that was how, she was moving small. In my mind, I'm like, I even see someone that I am better than. I even see someone that I'm better than. Yes. It's not peculiar to me that I was afraid, because I feel like they are Igbo now, they see all this thing around them. She should not be afraid, that they will be seeing one black lady that is a bush girl, is the one afraid. No, it's common to man. That is why you should acknowledge it. You can talk about it if need be. So identify and acknowledge your insecurity. Become aware of your strength and celebrate yourself for who you are. What are those things that you are a unique person? What makes you unique? What are those things that that your strength that is not common to any other person? That's why many times one or two of our discussion always make us, or have made us, to talk about knowing yourself, your strength and your weaknesses. Those your strength, be proud of them. Be more conscious of them. If you are not aware of them, please go and be aware of them. You can even check online. You can do a test online to discover your strength and your weaknesses. And immediately you know what they are. Try and pride yourself in those things. Practice self-love. Practice self-love. Love yourself. Nobody will love yourself. You will love you more than you love yourself. That's the Bible says. It said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. He didn't say we should love other people than us. So the love starts from us. It's only when you love yourself you actually learn to love people, you know. So how do you how do you practice self-love? It starts from accepting yourself, who you are. I do tell myself, if opportunity or it is something that is possible and Miss World or Mr. World is given opportunity to say reshape or redesign yourself, even then that the whole world have acclaimed and judged that they are beautiful, they will have something to amend in their body. So that's to let you know that everybody have one issue. Like my son will say, everybody get the one way they do them. So everybody have the one that is affecting them. And talking about accepting ourselves, there's this sister, it's a younger sister, you know, let me put it that way. It's possible she'll stumble on this video. I noticed we're preparing for a family wedding, a wedding in the family, and then we went to tailor to take our measurement for the ashwebi. Each time the tailor measure her, she'll just be, because she's busting. Oh, I beg, the style you're going to do for me, I hope you will not show my boss. You know I have breasts. She kept saying in me like, this girl is so worried, she's so concerned, she's over-conscious of this her shape. So I took her aside and I told her, do you know this thing you carry? That's what some men are looking for. Why you be unnecessarily this thing? The more you have this one, the more you have delay in marriage. And meanwhile, as at the time I was talking, she was overdue for marriage. So I started encouraging her. I said, what you are doing to yourself is like, I am not marriageable. What you are saying to yourself is that if I'm a man, I cannot marry me. I cannot marry a woman like me. That's what you are saying. And as long as it is like that, men will be running away from you because you will be carrying that omen around you. From now on, when you wake up, go and stand before your mirror and call yourself by name and say you are beautiful. And say you are this and say you are that. And that if you practice this thing, if what I'm telling you is you allow it to sink in very well into you, I promise you by this time next year we'll be doing your wedding. This way she say amen is like that kind of Sarah's laughter when they say by this time next year. But do you know what? Exactly 12 months after, that wedding, family wedding, took place October. The following year, October, we did her marriage. We did her wedding. So those are the things, this way play out. We do not know what we do to ourselves because of this thought of insecurity. So accept yourself. Practice self-love. Number one, stop comparing yourself to others. 2 Corinthians 10:12 says, comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. What is it there to complain? You are not in a race. You are not in a competition. You are a unique person. You cannot do things the way other people would do it. And other people cannot do it the way you would do it, even if we are to do the same thing. So stop comparison. That's one thing that is killing us. Stop comparison. Don't be bothered about others' opinion about you, except when they are giving you constructive or objective criticism, correcting you. This Bible says that in the multitude of counsel there is safety. Listen to that. But when it comes to someone, just say, he's too short, his nose is like that, I don't like, it does not matter. They are not you and they are not your God. And they don't even have what it takes to recreate and refashion themselves, talk less of you. So why should you be bothered about what they say about you? So learn not to be bothered so much, because some of us, immediately we have one comment, hey, the rest 7 days, that's what will be turning in our hearts. That he said this one, I'm not like this. You go and check yourself in the mirror. You go and do like this in the mirror, especially we women. May God help us in Jesus' name. So be more conscious of your value more than your look. What makes you you? What are those important things about you? Those are the things that are weighty. Those are the things that are heavy. Are you compassionate? Do you have empathy? You know, are you a loving person? Are you a caring person? Are you a diligent person? Are you a hardworking person? You know, those are the things that you should look at and make you happy, that say, I know my worth. I know what I carry. And once you are conscious of that, it boosts your confidence level. So do not pay attention to what I wear, what I do not wear. It's good to look good, but what we are saying is that those are not what we are looking after, and allow that one to be giving you a sense of insecurity or agitation or worry. Build your inner man, which is the most important thing. Exercise yourself in boldness among people. When you are around people, be bold enough. When they are saying saying their own, the little you know, say. So don't, like, you know, when we're talking about the signs of insecurity, we talked about people that would rather be introverted, that they withdraw, they are very reserved, because sometimes fear of even talking. It's like, I don't know what I would say, and maybe I don't even have good opinion about that matter. Say the one you want to say. At best, at best they will laugh, and then you get corrected. But be bold enough to express yourself. One of the ways to practice self-love is to practice self-affirmation. Practicing self-affirmation, just like I said, I told that sister, go before mirror every day and tell yourself you are beautiful. So those are examples of, or that's an example of practicing self-affirmation. Use positive language. Say good things about yourself, like I accept myself, I love myself, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am bold, I am great, I am worthy of love. You know, say all those things to yourself. It will continue to reprogram your mind, you know, and then you live in the confidence of what has come on you. Practicing self-affirmation, you can check online, you know, to see more of it if you feel you need them. So in conclusion, understand that there is connection between your thought pattern and the feeling of insecurity, and that your feeling influences your behavior. So when you try and overcome negative thought pattern, you feel more secure and your behavior also improves. So that is how we're going to be, you know, rounding it up today. By God's grace, our next session is going to be in January. The next Saturday happens to be the Christmas Eve, and the upper one also happens to be New Year Eve. So we're going to be on break so that every one of us can enjoy our holiday. So if you are here and you are new, try and follow us on Instagram, Mary Bliss Marriage Campus, and also on YouTube. We have a YouTube page. All our sessions, all the topics we have discussed, they are there. Like what the one I referred to when I was talking, essential, what do we call it? Essential qualities for essential skills. Essential skill for successful marriage. I think we have about 7 sessions under that. They are there on YouTube. You can go and watch them, and subsequent one we have handled is still also a Marriage Campus on YouTube that you are going to see them. So for all of us that are online, whether I've seen you to call your name or I didn't really see you, please, I thank you once again for joining us, and I celebrate you. So let me know again in the comment section what you feel about today's topic. Does it make sense? Did you actually learn anything? And go ahead and tag your friend and share, so that at least what we are learning, we can also allow other people to benefit from it. Thank you once again for joining tonight's session. Enjoy the rest of your nights and the rest of the day for those that join us from North America. Bye.